The signal came from nowhere, 3 words that shattered everything. We are returning. But Earth was already burning. Orbital strikes carved scars into continents. Cities crumbled in fire. Oceans heaved with shock waves as entire coastlines vanished. Billions cowered underground, waiting for the end. On the Hegemony flagship, Admiral Kethvar watched with cold satisfaction. His mandibles clicked as blue icons. Earth's defenses blinked out one by one. So fragile, he said. So predictable. All resistance has collapsed, his second-in-command confirmed. Transmit the surrender demand again, Kethvar ordered. Let them hear the terms of extinction. Beneath Cheyenne Mountain, silence ruled the command chamber. Generals argued. One demanded surrender. Another swore humanity would fight to the last. Admiral Chun pressed his hands to the console, jaw tight, knowing every option meant death. Then the static returned. Louder this time. A technician tore off her headset, eyes wide. "It's not alien," she whispered. "It's ours." The chamber froze. The words repeated, clear now, undeniable. "We are returning." The void rippled. Dust-clouded hulks stirred. Engines flared awake after centuries of silence. Not dozens, not hundreds, thousands. Humanity's lost fleet had returned. On the Hegemony flagship, the bridge dissolved into chaos. "Admiral, contacts flooding sensors. Hundreds, no, thousands." Kethvar's mandibles twitched. His display filled with impossible readings. Warships of human origin, mass signatures beyond belief. "Ghosts," he spat. "Tricks." But the words rang hollow even to him. Another officer cried out, "Admiral, they're power signatures. These ships are real." Across the galaxy, the Hegemony had mocked humanity's weakness. Yet here, in Earth's orbit, a storm of human steel eclipsed their fleet. In Cheyenne Mountain, the command chamber erupted. "Impossible. Our fleet is gone," a general stammered. "It was," Chen whispered. His eyes stayed fixed on the tactical display, where icons multiplied until the screen drowned in blue. "But they've come back." Technicians wept openly. Officers clutched each other in disbelief. The words spread across the underground bunkers of Earth like wildfire. The fleet has returned. Above, the night sky lit with impossible fire. Civilians emerged from shelters to see colossal shapes blotting the stars. Some wept. Others dropped to their knees. For the first time in generations, Earth was not alone. But these ships were not untouched by exile. Hull plating shimmered with strange alloys no engineer could name. Reactors pulsed with alien light. Designs twisted with unfamiliar symmetry, as if another hand had reforged them in the void. They had survived, but they were not the same. On the Hegemony flagship, Kethvar's composure cracked. His claws tore grooves into the console. "Form the battle line," he snapped. "Erase them. All of them." But the command came too late. The lost fleet had already moved. Formations shifted across the void, thousands of human warships locking into place with mathematical precision. Blue icons swarmed across. Tactical displays, a tidal wave of steel eclipsing the stars. On the Hegemony flagship, alarms screamed. Impossible tonnage. Their numbers defy reality. Admiral Kethvar lashed his mandibles. "Hold the line. Crush them before they strike." But his command crew faltered. Confidence shattered. Fear seeping through every order. On Earth, the command chamber shook with disbelief. Admiral Chen's hands tightened on the console. They're maneuvering. Coordinated. General Ortiz leaned forward, stunned. "That's not a desperate fleet. That's an army." The tactical map filled with impossible geometry, dreadnoughts sliding into anchor positions, cruisers fanning like blades, frigates darting. Ahead in scouting formations. It wasn't chaos. It was doctrine. Forgotten doctrine. "They never stopped training," Chen whispered. Aboard the battleship Ardent Spear, Captain Rodriguez braced against the deck as the ship's reactor flared alive. All batteries charged. Drone swarms at launch readiness. Her voice carried steady, but her heart raced. Across her viewport, she saw shapes larger than cities rising into formation. Engines thundered through the vacuum. vibrating every plate of her vessel. "God help us," her first officer muttered. Rodriguez shook her head. "No, God help them." The Lost Fleet's signals pulsed across every channel, battle instructions, in codes that hadn't been used in centuries. Yet crews across Earth understood them instantly, as if humanity had been waiting all along. Dreadnoughts aligned, rail cannons charged, glowing white-hot. Drone carriers opened their bays, swarms pouring into the void like a living storm. Every sensor aboard the hegemony fleet lit crimson. "Admiral," an alien officer stammered, "they're advancing." Kethvar's claws dug into the console. "Then fire first." The void tensed. Across Earth and orbit, billions held their breath. And then the first human salvo blazed into the dark. The first human salvo lit the void. Rail slugs screamed across the dark, faster than thought. Alien cruisers vanished in incandescent bursts, armor peeled away like paper. On the hegemony flagship, officers screamed, shields collapsing, vectors compromised. Kethvar bared his fangs. "Return fire. Drown them." But these weren't the ships Earth remembered. Their weapons struck harder. Their formations moved sharper. Their very hulls glowed with alien fire. Something had changed in exile. The battle ignited. Dreadnoughts roared. Frigates darted. Drone swarms shrieked into the battle space. Alien point defense lit the void in desperate fury. But the humans pressed forward, relentless. On the ardent spear, Captain Rodriguez felt the deck shudder as her ship's main guns discharged. "Target down," her gunnery officer cried. Rodriguez saw the impossible. Alien vessels retreating in panic. The invincible hegemony line breaking. But the real shock came when sensors detected something deeper in the fleet. Signals no human code could explain. On the dreadnought Vorkath, the alien commander staggered. Consoles screamed warnings. Hull breaches, engines dead. Human ships swarmed in, weapons cutting like scalpels. "They're surrounding us." "No," the commander rasped. "They're hunting us." The human flagship surged forward. Its main cannon flared brighter than dawn. The Vorkath split apart in silence, a dying sun scattering into molten fragments. On the hegemony flagship, Kethvar's voice broke. "This is not possible." Humanity had won. But what the Lost Fleet carried back from exile was not entirely human. The battle was over. Alien wreckage drifted across Earth's orbit, burning silently. The shattered carcass of the Vorkath spun like a dying star, molten fragments scattering into the void. The hegemony fleet had fled. Humanity had survived. In Cheyenne Mountain, cheers thundered through the bunker. Officers embraced, technicians wept, civilians poured from shelters. To see the skies blaze with human warships. Children pointed upward, shouting the words racing across every screen. Every channel, every heart. The fleet has returned. But celebration quickly turned to silence. On the tactical display, technicians whispered. Sensor feeds flickered. With anomalies. Strange energy signatures pulsed within. The returning fleet patterns no human engineer could explain. "Those ships," one officer said softly, "they're not fully ours anymore." Admiral Chen's eyes narrowed. Victorious or not, he felt the weight of it. Humanity's lost children had come back, but changed, carrying something alien in their steel and fire. Far above, aboard his flagship, Kethvar sat frozen. For the first time in his long career, fear gnawed his command heart. Humanity had risen from the grave with weapons not entirely their own. And deep within the galaxy, every empire would soon hear the same words. "We are returning."